Today I'm going to run through line drills for the handstand. So ideally, we'll be looking for something like this in the handstand. So the body being in a straight line, so acting as one segment. Now most people need to work on that from a mobility point of view and a conditioning point of view. Now unless you have a very strong freestanding handstand, most people are going to need to be working the line drills on the floor, against the wall, and some freestanding. So today I'm going to run through the front line drill, the back line drill, the wall drill, and the freestanding version. Now you could use these as conditioning drills or you could use these as assessment. So you might need to assess, see what you need to work on that flexibility, mobility, strength even, and then come back to the line drill and reassess. Or you might use these line drills as part of your handstand session. So ideally what we want to do is we want to get the body to act as one segment. So I can balance this stick because it's acting as one piece and it's not broken in lots of places. So what we want to do is now is create the same thing on the floor. Let's do that laying on the back first. So I'm going to lay on the floor, I'm going to squeeze my legs together, I'm going to point my toes. So I've now made the lower body one piece. I'm going to hold the stick. Now the reason I hold the stick is so I can have my hands shoulder width apart and that stays the same. So again, it's acting as one segment. So I push away. Now I push my low back into the floor. So low back is into the floor, I can feel contact and I'm just going to lengthen and reach away as far as I can with the feet and the hands, keeping the low back on the floor. Now, ideally, I'm going to get down all the way down here and be able to hold with control, have a conversation and hold here for 60, 90, even 2 minutes. Now, in reality, most people, when they first start doing this, they start to bring their legs down, their low back is going to come off the floor at some point. Now, when that happens, we've gone too far. What we need to do then is just to bring it back. Now, we could bring it back by bending the knees slightly or raising the feet. We want to see where we can hold for 30 to 60 seconds, keeping the low back on the floor. So it could be here, it could be here, it could be closer to the ideal position. So don't just do a snapshot for 10, 15 seconds, see what you can hold for 30 to 60 seconds at least. Then we have the front line drill. Now the front line drill is very similar, so we want to make the body one piece. But what we're going to do to start with is try and get the distance between the toes and the hands to be as far apart as possible. So I'm going to reach away, I'm going to put my chin onto the floor. I'm going to keep reaching as far as I can with the feet and with the stick. I'm going to keep looking at the stick with the chin on the floor. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I'll keep maintaining that distance as far apart as possible. I'm going to go into a posterior tilt. So the belly button just comes up off the floor. What I don't want to do here is do this. That gets the belly button off the floor, but that's more of a twerk movement that's using the hip flexors. We want to squeeze the glutes and the abs to get the belly button off the floor. Now for most people, that's going to be challenging to hold that position for around that 30 to 60 seconds plus. But the next level up is to hold that and also lift the stick. Now, a lot of people, when they lift the stick with this one, their body line position will suffer. Or they'll use strength, so they'll come up like this. It's not this. We don't want to start to bring the stick and the feet back towards each other. We don't want to buckle the body. We don't want to use strength. We want to use flexibility to raise up and not have it affect the rest of the body. So again, 30 to 60 seconds, or with this one, you could do repetitions of the shoulder part. But I would also be working that 30 to 60 second line drill if that's something you need to work on. So you could do repetitions here of lifting the stick, focusing on not changing that body position as you do it. Then we can go up on the wall to our chest to wall position. Now again, if you're first starting out, this might be too hard for you to go close to the wall, but basically we want to go up into the wall and stay in this position, not this position. So I'm not collapsing towards the wall, I'm pushing away in a positive position. So more of like that hollow body position. Ideally, I'd be working closer to the wall, pushing up into that one segment, slight posterior tilt, keeping the body as one, not collapsing against the wall, not collapsing with the arms and the shoulders, staying in that position there. So again, 30 to 60 seconds in this position for your assessment. Ideally, you would go beyond that, and then you're ready to do the freestanding version once you have a freestanding hold you can play with. Same thing, we're working on that posterior tilt. We're not tilting using the hip flexors. Then when you're ready and you have control in the freestanding handstand, we can start to play around with our line position here. Now the big thing with the line position here, you need to make a choice whether you're prioritizing balance or positioning, because you get people that hold a really good line, but they fall over. So it's perfect, but then it slowly falls over. What we want to do, prioritize balance and then push up as much as you can. So maybe I'll look like this to start with, and then I'm just going to think about lengthening towards the ceiling, pushing the floor away. So everything will come in, squeezing the glutes and the abs just a little bit. But we should be able to hold here. See, I'm still holding a conversation and I'm holding that position. A lot of mistakes people make is they start to do this, or they start to correct a line by pushing forwards and backwards with the shoulders or the hips. Think about lengthening. If I was standing with bad posture, I would want to, if I had hair, pull myself up by the hair, stand really nice and tall into that one piece. That's what we want to be doing in the handstand. So really focusing on duration holds. We want to be getting 20, 30 seconds in our conditioning hold, trying to work on our line, abs on, glutes on, pushing away, reaching for the ceiling with the toes, squeezing the legs together. I definitely recommend with these that you video yourself from the side so you can see what you're really doing, not what you think you're doing. And don't just take a snapshot for 5 to 10 seconds. You want to be looking at that 30, 60, 90-second holds and then make an assessment. Do you need to work on flexibility? Do you just need to build conditioning up against the wall for the chest to wall positioning? Or do you need to get better at balance before you can start doing it in a freestanding hold? Be realistic to where you are and train accordingly. Most people are training way too easy variations or way too hard. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Check out my new website, www.paultwyman.com.au, and I'll speak to you next time. Thanks, guys.